Good morning. Okay, I think I'm live. Maybe, possibly, potentially. Let's see. Okay. Stream manager. Turn that off. Okay. All right. Yeah. Seems like we're live. Fantastic. Um. All right. It's gonna be a chill one. Kind of having a bad year, honestly. But like, this last like the weekend and the week before, I don't know, whatever. It's been kind of bleh. So, or rather, I've been kind of bleh. So we are going to draw Princess Zelda to remind myself that I actually do know how to draw. Because I'm kind of like, especially like when my mood gets like this, I whatever, I seriously doubt myself on like literally everything. And part of what's I think happening is I'm like going like I don't know how to draw, I don't know why I'm doing this, blah 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 blah, and I'm like I need to prove to myself that I actually do know what I'm doing. You know how it is. Brain space is weird. Swag! Hello, hi. How are you? I know that's a loaded question right now, but I'm really happy to see that you're here. I don't know why I keep playing with the size of this. Despite the horrors I persist. Real. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe red's comfort drawing is Ryan doodles these days. Big mood. Also, I just realized it's on my phone as well. Okay. Why does it say window size is 920/74? Like, that's not on. What is happening? I am so confused. Why does it say that? So did you make it OC and go, yep, I'm obsessed now? Yeah. Oh, absolutely, for sure. That was me with like honestly, that was me with Quill for a while, and then Roz. Like especially when I was like doing the comic, I would draw Roz like on all of my because that was back when I like worked corporate, so I would draw it in my like I would draw Roz in like my planners, just like her little head, just like disembodied little Roz heads, like all over my to do list. Um, I still don't know why it says window size is 1920 by 974. And I'm like, I mean, I see that, but how do I make that go away? Like, yes, I know that. Thank you. Okay, what if I do this? It's like gonna bother me. I mean, I think part of it is that my monitor is like literally big. And so it doesn't actually size correctly. Nope, it's still there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Huh. You're like, yes, I know. Thank you, window sizes. You can see that, right? Like, it's not just something that's showing up on my screen, because it's also showing up on my phone, which makes me think that it's streaming like that. Okay. All right. That's what I figured. Um, hmm. Is this just going to be my entire stream now? Yes, it is. Woof. Okay. I mean, oh, no, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. Okay, this is going to bother me. This is going to bother me. I feel like now I've completely broken it, and now I don't know how to fix it. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Uh. See, this is what I get for not locking things whenever I actually get them to work the way I want them to. Okay, seriously, why are you not letting me move um my things now? It's not, I actually did not, everything's unlocked. Okay, there you go. Alright, I can move myself again. Excuse me, oh my gosh. Okay, can I lock this? Maybe. Open scene projector. What? Position override order. Multi-view. It's still there. Okay. At least we know what the window size is. I mean, yeah. Oh, this is gonna bother me so much. Okay. All right. You know what? We're gonna have to rearrange everything on my desk. But oh, so here's a fun, and by fun I mean not fun story. Um, so it's happened on a couple of different streams where my art tablet has spontaneously decided that it wanted to fling itself off of my desk. And it happens not just on stream. It happens when I'm not streaming either. Anyway, it did that. It fell on the floor this weekend, and now it's not broken, but it is damaged. The monitor is unhappy, which makes me incredibly unhappy. Seems suboptimal. Yeah. Um, I like it still works, but it makes me unhappy because it like so it's weird. Like some of the pixels, basically, there's a gradient now on the edges of the screen. So like the middle of the screen is fine, and obviously like it's getting the information correctly because like it's going to my second monitor and everything's fine. So it's just on the art tablet, but art tablet is like what I put my eyes on. The backlight's probably damaged. Yeah, that's probably what it is because it just sort of like the middle's fine, but the edges just sort of fade to black. And I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. Friend recording. There we go. Um, that is gonna fix it. Huh. Well, apparently my problem is vaguely unique. As far as problems I have, that one's. Oh, okay. See, yeah, I'm not so good on the hardware bits uh for stuff. So I was like, I don't know, like do I just gotta get a new one? So but yeah, maybe I could take it to a repair shop and just be like, apparently I think I broke the backlight. Okay. Well, that's one potential problem that I can fix later. Like, thank you so much. That's honestly, that makes me feel a lot better because I was like, oh my god, I barely had this thing a year. Of course I would drop it on the ground and break it now. I got this for myself last year on Valentine's Day. Oh, there's Jackie Beth. Ah, you snuck a message in there. Hello. Thank you for checking in. Now, if only I can figure out how to solve the fact that it's telling me what the window size is. I'm like, that's cool. I don't need to know that, but don't need to know the window size. Thank you. You know, will it do it if I do this? Hold on. We're clearly not in intermission. I'm just changing. Okay, so it went away when I did that. Okay. All right. So it's just on. That's so wild. Okay, so it's like somehow stuck on this. Why? Oh, is it my... Oh, weird. Oh, wild. Okay. Is it that? Why are you doing that, video? It's my PNG tuber. If all else fails, reboot. Yeah, I could do that. It's so we have narrowed it down. It's my PNG tuber that is showing what screen size it is. I don't know why she's decided to do that all of a sudden. But it's definitely that. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna bring her back, and maybe it'll play correctly now. PNG Eris wants you to know this. Yeah, she's like, hey, these are the only measurements you're gonna get out of me. My window size. Okay, that does seem to have fixed it. Oh my god. Okay, that's freaking wild. Okay, alright. Okay. Let's actually bring back up the art screen. Just all right, future reference. If the window size is showing, it's probably the PNG tuber. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Are you behaving now? Please? Please tell me you're behaving. That's not what I wanted. Okay, now because I messed with her, she's in the wrong spot. Let me see if I can fix this. Well, I don't know. That's not too bad. That's not the worst spot for her to be in. You know what? We're just not going to touch it. We're just going to deal with it. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of floating in the wrong area, but um at least I don't have the screen size anymore. Okay. Just small victories or something. Okay. I'm taking another cup of coffee. Or another sip of coffee. 23 minutes in. We're doing great. You know what? I'd say I'm doing great. You know, I know that's sarcasm. But we're gonna try to re-say that in our heads. We are doing great. We're doing great considering their circumstances. Do I want to do big Zelda or do I want to do like... Hmm. Maybe we'll do like... Well, in better news, I got a new chair, and so far it seems to be working out very, very well. My sister-in-law got a new chair, and which I had a nice chair. Honestly, this is pretty nice. So brother and sister-in-law invited us over to their place last-ish weekend for my mom came into town because it was her birthday, and so whatever, we did family dinner and all that kind of stuff. And so, since we were there at the house, sister-in-law had just gotten a new office chair because it's the one where the arms fold completely flat and it's kind of wide, and it's like made so that you can sit cross-legged on it, because she and I both have the whole we can't sit like normal people problem. Um the whole like, oh yes, a chair, let me not sit in it correctly in the way that it was designed, like let me cross my legs, let me put my legs up like over the arms, yeah, anyway. So and also like, she has a dog, she has a little dog named Ollie, and so I guess I should say they have a dog, but um anyway, so we had been kind of talking, I don't know, just last couple of times we've seen each other, about how like when we work from home, the pets want to be on us. I didn't know you were bi. Sir, I'm bi. I am. I should not maybe be asking my sister-in-law, like, hey, like, are we on the same page? I don't think so. She does not. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, no, I am extremely bisexual. Um I've never seen a chair that I didn't think, I could mess that up. But yeah, anyway, so she was showing me this chair, so I was just I got lost in my own thoughts there. Um but yeah, she was showing me, the new chair that she got. And she was like, "Oh, look, you can sit cross-legged in it, and Ollie can sit with me." Um, and then I was like, "Oh," and so I started looking for chairs like that too, and then didn't quite like get up the, I don't know, lack of impulse control. I don't even know. Like, I just had saved a bunch of chairs, and like, oh, this one looks good, or maybe this one, and I hadn't really made my decision yet when uh my husband was like, hey, so I did something kind of spur of the moment, which is maybe not the best. And I was like, okay. He's like, but you should go outside and check the door for a package. And I was like, okay. And so I went outside yesterday, and sure enough, there was a gigantic freaking box, and he had already ordered me a chair, the exact same chair that she had, because like, he was like, yeah, I don't like watching you sit down in your office chair because it scares me. Like, it's just going to explode out from under you, which is fair because it did. Um, like, that's a fair fear he had, because it's really old, and so what happened is like, the the wheels started popping off the bottom. Like, there was an office chair, it was a rolly office chair that spun, and like the wheels would fly off sometimes. And you could kind of put them back on, but they were unhappy. Those wheels were unhappy. So anyway, he got me a new chair, and it's real comfortable. And now I'm drawing sad Zelda. Not because of the chair. Zelda would be very happy for the chair. I'm just drawing sad Zelda because I am kind of sad. But that's okay. So this is a weird angle for me to draw. And because also, again, we the tablet decided to try cliff jumping off the desk without a bungee cord. So now I have the tablet like in a way different spot. Which Zelda is this? Such a good question. So her head's... No, maybe she's just short. Favorite Zelda is Hyrule Warrior Zelda. Shoot, yeah, Hyrule Warriors is so good. So like that the big and then the like kind of the big overcoat thing that like spun whenever she attacked people like a little ballerina. She also had kind of a, was it loose? Because I know the chic one was like a braid. Also chic is very good. Hyrule Warriors Zelda. I'm typing with one finger for reasons. Yeah, yeah, because she had her hair ended in like a little spike thing. Oh, I forgot about that. Ah, girl, she had a look here. They didn't need to cook as hard as they did with that game, but I appreciate. Yeah, I love Hyrule Warriors. Like, there's just something about like that game makes me happy, and I think part of it's because I really appreciate power fantasy games, especially when I'm feeling bad, which now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, maybe I should just break out Hyrule Warriors and play that a little bit. I might make myself feel better. They made everyone hot. Everyone was like, even Volvagia, who was a freaking bone dragon, they were just like, what if he was a hot himbo guy? And it's like, okay, yeah. Team Ninja's influence visible, yeah. And then it was already on top of like the game is, honestly, the game is kind of a fanfic because it's like they had their OC as like one of the main people. They actually brought in like, we made an original character to put into Hyrule in the term of, I forgot her name, the fucking the witch lady, whatever, and then Celia, something like that, what, it was the bad guy. Anyway, it was a fanfic of like, what if we got all of our favorite Hyrule people together all in one game? Yeah, Disney Witch, yeah, exactly. And I'd be like, but she was in love with Link, and so this is why all of this went down, and blah blah blah. And then they turned it into a good game. Like honestly, like I really even the story is a little kind of funny. It's a little janky, but I'm like, it had some real emotional moments. Like it captured a really good Link. Like their Link was legitimately very good for a Zelda game. That kind of like courage that turns into recklessness and confidence that then has to be walked back because he became a danger to himself. Like, I and not to mention like that game was just super fun to play. Like it just feels so good to play that game. Unfortunately, my Hyrule Warriors is on loan right now. Maybe I should maybe I should ask for it back, or well, I'll ask just to see how she's doing with it. So, um but yeah, maybe that's not the worst idea. Maybe I should get my Hyrule Warriors back. Also, everyone had such good hair. Oh my god. It's peak. Yes. They cook so hard. Yeah. Uh I haven't played the other Hyrule Warriors games. Um I have a Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and played that backwards and forwards. Um I have Age of Calamity and I've started it, but it's just different enough that it like wasn't the same. Like I honestly could have just played Hyrule's Warriors 2.0. It could like same engine, just throw different maps at me, and I probably would have that would have been great. But no, they changed the mechanics just enough that I was like, I don't know if I like this. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it because it's also on like my huge project of my Hyrule Census project that I'm still working on. Took kind of a break from it, but I should go back, especially because I've completed 98% of Breath of the Wild. Yes, I did get all the Koroks. Now with a different titty. Yeah, I just like you just give me another titty witch to maybe this time it's a maybe this time it could be lesbians and she could fall in love with Zelda and is trying to like fight with Link for Zelda's affections and or something like that. Yeah, like the game practically writes itself. Like I would play the hell out of the game. Okay, if I remember right, she had the kind of like way more cat eyes. Yeah, okay. This was peak cat girl Zelda. This time it's lesbians. Yeah. But can you imagine though? Like, God, what was her? Was it Lana? I think it was Lana or something. Now I'm like, maybe I've just made that up. Anyway, whatever. The blue chick who got separated from the evil purple titty witch because they're the Hyrule Warriors. Um, Lana sounds right. Yeah, I was like, that sounds about right. Um, yeah, just a different version of Lana, and you know, this one's in love with Zelda. I mean, it's pretty easy. Like, I love Zelda. Oh, I'm looking at this, and ugh. Nope, we're just gonna keep doing it because we know what we're doing. We know how to draw, and we're not just gonna give up halfway through because of reasons. Okay, I think her crown was actually more like Straight up and down. Yeah. I don't remember if she had earrings or not, but I'm going to give her earrings, and I'm going to base the earrings off of the earrings that I have because I want to. It's like, I have big Triforce earrings and I love them and they make me happy. Honestly, maybe I should actually properly get dressed. Oh. Okay, I just had a sudden realization, which is I maybe accidentally modeled some of the armor that I drew in my comic. I'm like, oh, that's where I got that idea for those like shoulder armor pauldron looking things. Okay, that's fun. Okay. Um been working on drawing my palace guard guy. In fact, we actually I finished those pages. Uh and I'm now realizing that maybe I kind of subconsciously took part of Zelda's armor as inspiration for his design, for his armor design. So I'm now realizing that that's what my brain did, and I'm like, okay, that's fun. Yeah, because like she's got like a little over thing that makes her shoulders look wider. Cause yeah, because they blended it a little bit with the Twilight Princess Zelda. Okay, hers has more of a shape on this part though. Like that follows down, but then that is like wider. And then collarbones completely exposed because why would you ever want to protect your neck? And she's got the bodice thing going, or the armored bodice. A little quilted corset with some little hip thingies. Okay. You know, maybe I should work on some Hyrule Warriors costumes. It may be extremely early, but it is February, which means that my brain is going, I need to get prepared for Halloween. You know, because it's only 8 months away. I've running out of time, yo. You know, I gotta get ready for Halloween. So anyway, we've been discussing potentially doing a couples kind of costume. Like I really want to do at least once matching costumes. Um, so we've been talking about doing like probably Legend of Zelda something or other, or video game something or other. I think we also threw out Bowser and Bowsette in the discussion. All right. I forgot. She has like little shorts, but obviously you can barely see them. And then she has the thigh highs, and then she has thigh high boots. So I think maybe her braid needs to be longer. Yeah. Real. Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at Linkle and I'm like, man, Linkle's also really cute. I do love Linkle. I'm. We're gonna draw, Eris. Eris, you're gonna finish the picture. It's gonna be great, and you're gonna finish it. So don't get distracted now thinking about doing research on when Linkle just appeared, or when Linkle was introduced into I don't know, the canon. Oh, it might be Hyrule Warriors, or maybe it was based off of something else. Okay, okay, so she has sleeves here, and then it goes into like these like bracers. Okay. So real tight across his forearm and then a little puffy around the. If she had her hand up like that, okay, so right arm goes to, she's like holding her hand over her heart. Thumb would be away from us, so this would be the pinky. Can I find a shot of her, maybe in gameplay? Girl, how does your hair work? Um, okay, I don't think there's nothing tucked or anything. Okay. Yeah, it's not quite Twilight Princess where she has it in like a half pony. Okay. All right, cool. It's just very down. I feel like I'm drawing this at a weird angle. Well, that's because I am. It's not an angle I'm used to. Okay. Okay, where's... Oh, there it is. It's like it's... Nope. Wrong there. Also, I just realized... I wonder if part of the problem I was having... I'm mostly talking out loud now, just for myself. I forgot that sometimes when I turn off my art tablet, like the monitor part, it changes the resolution. And so I kind of wonder if maybe that's also what's happening, because I feel like my everything is like really scrunched more so than normal on my drawing program. Hmm. So it's a thing I debate about a lot in my own head of like how personal I want to get on here. Um and like ultimately I think I mean there's some stuff that I have no problem sharing. And then there's some stuff that obviously I do like clearly I'm have a little bit of a problem sharing. But yeah, because I don't want to necessarily just have like a policy of like, aha, I'm an open book. Because I feel like that invites some real weird dynamic sometimes. Um, but I did have a good therapy appointment yesterday. And discussing my, my stuff. And I need to practice like we were without getting too deep into it. We were talking about basically like I have a lot of practice in the doom and gloom. I have a tendency like I have anxiety and all that kind of stuff. I have a tendency to like kind of over prepare for the worst. That my problem seems to be, especially in this moment in time, or like this thing that I'm going through right now, is that I like almost don't know how to prepare for the best anymore. Like I don't even know what the best looks like. Like I'm like so used to working on like plan Z that I don't even know what plan A is anymore. Um and so that's my homework from my therapist is to try to figure out like start concentrating on actually plan for plan A. Don't just skip over all the plan A planning because you don't think it's going to happen. Like, what if it does? What if because like, I don't even make plan B. I'll like make plan A through Z, except I'm not even making plan A anymore. I'm like starting straight at like plan P and going down to Z. Like, I'm just like, this stuff will never happen. The best case scenarios. And, yeah. So I have homework. So this I don't know how this fits in, but drawing Zelda fits in somehow. I'm gonna say it does because I'm gonna say it does. But I think the one thing that I wasn't really like mentally or emotionally prepared for. I'm kind of like new to therapy. Like some people have been having, they had a, therapist most of their lives and stuff like that, which on the surface is cool. As someone experiencing bad times, when I remember to plan for good things is important. Yeah. Um. No, for sure. I like. I mean, I only have my experiences, but like my issue is that I've been planning for bad things for more than half a decade, almost an entire decade, and I have like literally forgotten how to plan for good things. You should go back to therapy. I'm new to therapy. Like I really only started therapy last year. And so like I mean I've been to doctors and I've had like diagnoses and I've had like medication therapy. So like I've had like but like just straight up like a talk counselor kind of person. I like was logically prepared for it of like okay, they're going to listen to you talk and then they're going to like give you their advice, but also knowing that they only it's not like they do homework on you or whatever. Like they just listen to you talk and then they listen to the way that how you say things and explain things and tell your own story and then they help you kind of make sense of it. I knew that logically. But I don't think I was prepared at all emotionally of like how weirdly like good it feels in the way that like a really like exfoliating your skin feels good in that kind of like scratchy rough way but then you feel clean. of the way like my therapist can listen to me talk and then use my own words that I just said 2 minutes ago against me. And it just like, I feel like every single time I probably look like a deer in headlights. I feel like she just like slaps me across the face with my own words, and it fixes me. And, like, it really, there's like almost a weird like feeling walking away from it going, I literally did just say that, didn't I? Wow, it does sound really bad when it comes out of like when I say it out loud. And yeah, that was something that I'm not sure I realized how much that was gonna feel. So anyway, that's fun. Just thoughts I'm sharing. Yeah, I love therapy. People should, if you can, if you can find a way to afford it, or stuff like that. You honestly think on it. But also like having therapy, like now having experienced like really like therapy for myself, especially because like we've gotten past all the preliminaries. Like she knows the major players in my life. She knows what my problems are now. There I don't necessarily have to spend like a session or two going like, all right, let me explain the circumstances that led up to this situation. Like she knows those situations now, right? So now she can just be like, we're checking in, and she's like, how's it hanging? And I was like, well, this happened, and she's like, oh shit, like like we just sort of like get into it now. um which is also really nice. But one of the things that I'm now realizing that I don't think I really like, I would definitely handle some things differently now for sure, um is I used to work as a teen librarian, and I would have teens who would have basically mandated therapy for usually because their parents are like, something's wrong with you, you need to go to therapy, or sometimes even because they got into trouble and it was recommended to them like by the judge or the court system, or just like they got in trouble, so now their parents are like, we need to get you into therapy apparently because we can't be having you going, like we can't have the cops get called again, kind of thing, or whatever. It happens. And I therapy really only works if you want to engage with it, and I'm really skeptical now of like the kids who say that they have to go to therapy because their parents make them, and I'm like, I have no idea how that works, because like, man, it doesn't. Like you've got to come into it like expect like you've got to be on the same side as your therapist. Like you can't just start into an adversarial place. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know, I just feel weird about some of my kids who talk about like, having to go to therapy and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I have a much different opinion of that situation now. Like I have way better advice to give. Like some of my god, some of those teens are not teens anymore. Jesus. um but yeah, like, man, Andy, wherever you are, I gave you the best advice I could at the time, but apparently that advice was not very good, and I am sorry. It's like, I think now I probably would have probably been a little harsher with Andy and just been like, hey, you know that you have to do this because like your parents are making you, but like, man, do this for yourself. Use the resources that are being given to you, that you don't have to work to earn. um not as like a, just sort of like, your parents are willing to pay this for you, like, so use it, but don't use it for them. Like don't do it for them, do it for you. Like take all the resources you can get, because my god, I had opinions about this poor kid's parents. One of those situations of like, it's your parents are the reason that you're in therapy. Got it. Cool, 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 cool. But yeah, that would be the advice I would give them now. Would be like, use it, engage with their therapist, but only like if you actually trust them, if you think that they're, because unfortunately in this state, the therapists have a tendency to blab shit to the parents. Haha, same. Yeah. No, like, but this state, especially for minors, sometimes the doctors and therapists will just sort of, they're used in part by the parents, and then they will like, they'll get updates on what their kid is going through or whatever, and I'm like, sometimes that's the problem. Like, you gotta trust you have to trust your therapist to be impartial and to not like blab, I guess. I mean, especially when, like, if you're in this case where you're a teenager and your parents are making you go to therapy. But because like that's what makes it really hard for these kids, is because they're like, my therapist is just going to turn around and tell my parents everything and be like, that's a risk. And I that's a risk. And to maintain patient confidentiality, not when you're a minor, apparently. It's different in different areas because it's the states, and because every state has a slightly different interpretation of the law. Yeah, no. America is not good at healthcare. America's real good at capitalism, but America's not good at healthcare. And like, there's a lot, the laws are getting stronger now, but they're only just now getting stronger. And obviously the laws are kind of like completely stopped in a standstill because of our current fascist dear leader. But for a short while they were starting to get fixed, especially like, post COVID with Biden and stuff like that. But we have a long way to go, because honestly, and it's not that good at capitalism, to be honest. We're amazingly good at capitalism in the old school capitalism sense, in that all capital should rise to the top into a decreasingly small numbers of people until there's only one. Like, capitalism as it was built was like kind of like the Hunger Games of money, of like, there should only be one. I just realized I mixed my metaphors there. That's not Hunger Games, that's Highlander. Anyway, but yeah, like, capitalism is not altruistic. Capitalism does not care about the masses. Capitalism wants all money to go to one person funneled at the top. And I think in a way America's very good at that. Because it really kind of does just funnel straight up to the top. The good news about that, though, is that man, the people on the top are so inept. They like literally don't know how to do anything. I'm honestly surprised that they can wipe themselves, because they're so used to everyone doing everything for them. And it's already biting some people in the butt. It's like, who's gonna grow our food? You are? You made it illegal for everyone else to grow your food, so I don't know what you're talking. Like, I suppose the best way to fix that is with anger, but I also don't want to like stream angry. Hmm. Considering how ranty I want to get right now. Painkillers just can go lie down there. Okay, yeah. Go go feel as pain free as you can. Enjoy the experience, because when you need painkillers, none of that's a good time. So pop in whenever you want, have questions. I'll probably just sort of vaguely, probably won't chatter as much in the background, but because I'm kind of in the thick of drawing my pretty princess's face. Maybe I should convince my husband to dress up as Zelda, and then that way I can dress up as Link. Because honestly, I think that's probably a better indication of what our relationship is like sometimes. It's like I like to dress up as the pretty princess, but I'm actually the feral forest gremlin that will get the sword and go fight a person. And he is much more of the whole, like, there's a better way to handle this. I think it's funny how often my husband and I will, like, he'll go into Valley Girl mode just as much. Occasionally he gets into moods where he does it more than I do. Where he'll just like kind of come home from work and just be like, "Oh my god, babe, you'll never guess." Just like full like lumpy space princess. Like, "Oh my glomp." I'm like, "What happened?" Be like, "Well, you know how they were having this thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I think that's a sign of a good relationship, is like, that's when you know you made it. As you're like, aha, we can be weird, just weird people together. It's like that's the ultimate test. Can you be weird together? Oh wait, eyeballs work more like that. Or do they? Hold on. No, that doesn't look right. Does her hair had slightly more up close? Okay, it is actually like a full, like, circlet looking kind of thing. Okay. this nice new chair for both of us, kitty. And you're gonna sit in your bucket? You can sit literally next to me. There's plenty of room. It's like, no, I'll just sit in my bucket. He's just happy to be next to me. He has to supervise me in the mornings, make sure I get everything done. He does not like the order that I do things in, but I think it's good practice of patience for both of us. Because he'll be like, Mommy, I need you to clean. I need you to clean all of my poopies. Just like leads me to his spots and he's like, clean now? And I'm like, I'm gonna clean them after I finish, like, you know, doing the morning chores. He's like, I want you to clean them now. I'm like, I baby, but it's like. And then after that's done, he's like, I need you to feed me, and then I need you to give me fresh water, and then I need you to give me pets, and then I need you to leave me alone for like 20 minutes. It's like, okay, baby. Now the routine is get up, take care of my business, because I usually have to go to the bathroom like as soon as I wake up. And then it's like put a breakfast and I pack my husband's lunch. It's, I don't know, like it's, I like it, and it is easier on him because he's so absolutely not a morning person. That if I don't literally hand him things, he will forget it. And not to say that like he's whatever. It's a morning he does not wake up fully kind of thing. Kind of issue, and then he'll just like kind of walk out of the house without it, and then later he'll be like, oh no, I forgot my lunch or whatever. Which usually means that he'll then just like go eat out. So it's a little on the helpful side if I make sure, because it helps our budget if I pack a lunch for him. But yeah, I am aware that it does absolutely make him sound a little bit like a child. Which I really want to appreciate that, but at the same time, like he usually forgets to do it the night before. Sometimes he remembers food planning, but and then he wakes up late, and then he's in a rush because he always wakes up late. But anyway, yeah, I pack my husband's lunch, get that ready, and then I take care of Kitty, and then I eat my breakfast. Because Kitty is like, I need things. I do not have thumbs. I cannot do them for myself. I think maybe that was the line that I was looking for. Okay, Zolders. How long are your little hair floofs? Such a good question. Just about that long. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll change this. There we go. That feels better. Also, wow, my hips don't hurt. Man, this chair is nice. My shoulders hurt, but that's only just because I have moved my tablet in a suboptimal position to keep it from leaping onto the floor. Well, we are drawing on it. Let's just experiment really fast. Oh, oh, what are you caught on? Oh no. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be better for my shoulders. Oof. Ooh. Man, you really did strain yourself, girl, huh? Okay. We're gonna have to massage that out. So I've been tangentially following the whole Wuthering Heights discourse, I guess, because of the new movie that came out, and I don't have my like ultimate verdict yet. To be honest, I don't. I might go see the movie. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, to be honest. Just I'm because I that in itself is an entire experience that I'm not. I want to be a movie theater person, but I so frequently am not. I'm okay in a theater filled with my friends. I'm less so with strangers. Just mental health reasons. And so I don't know. Anyway, it's possible. It's possible I might go see it. I do literally have some ins with the movie theater now. Thank goodness for people who are obsessed with movies who end up finding ways to go work slash manage a theater. Talking to you, Mac. Thank you so much. Anyway, but it did inspire me to go. I've been rereading. I'm very early into it. Like I literally just started yesterday, so I'm only like a chapter in. A rereading Wuthering Heights because I remember in high school we had to read Wuthering Heights, which is also, now that I'm saying this as an adult, is such a wild pick for high schoolers. Because honestly, I think the teacher taught it poorly. I remember really liking the book because I remember thinking, wow, this is the first time I've seen a romance novel that's not a romance. Like it's written as if like is in the genre of romance. It's not a sci-fi. You know, it has a lot of social commentary, but like a lot of romance novels do. Um and because romance novels are, they're talking about really a very specific part of society, which is the society part of it, of like how do people couple up, how does love and families and stuff form, stuff like that. Like the romance novel is basically protagonist and antagonist are frequently the couple that actually like falls in love, like your person A and your person B are, that's your couple. um and so, you know, the conflict is almost always emotional as opposed to situational kind of thing. And sometimes the situations can cause the emotional conflict, but like ultimately it's just getting these two characters to get, like getting them to be on the same page together, um emotionally and oftentimes literally. Anyway, but then Wuthering Heights is that novel, except these two characters do not fall in love with each other. This is like Wuthering Heights, I remember being really kind of like impressed with how much of a book about hate it is, as much as like it's a romance genre written in the romance algorithm, but it's a novel of two people who just fall deeper and deeper into animosity with each other, but like they're like, it's almost like an addiction. And I remember really liking that. So I'm gonna reread the novel just to sort of see, because some of the complaints I have heard about the movie is that A, it stops halfway through the novel, which I feel is weird. Because it's like, you mean you stop before like the point gets across that like this is not like the entire novel is like this is an abusive relationship. This is like a relationship built on trauma. They both traumatize each other in their own ways. And they're both traumatized characters, which is why they're behaving like this. Also, if I remember right, there's like pseudo incest in the novel. Like there were like, these are like, it's like her adopted brother or her half brother or something, which is actually like I think part of the plot is like the these were some deeply traumatized children, and their coping mechanisms were bad. They may have gotten them through childhood, but now that they're adults and they have slightly more like control over their own lives, um, you know, clearly these coping mechanisms are no longer helping them, kind of thing. If I remember right, because again, I read this back in high school, and I that was a while ago, and my memory is bad, and also my understanding of how the world works is a lot different now from where I was in high school. So anyway, I've been rereading the novel, and I don't know, I might turn it into a little project, where I reread it, and then I, you know, thoughts about it, and maybe I go see the movie and kind of give my 2 cents of, you know, whatever literary to theatrical differences. I know that Wuthering Heights as a movie tends to, I guess one of the versions they did in the 30s or 40s or something like that. I can't remember. I'm guessing off the top of my head. I'm not fact checking. Sorry. I can later, but I'm drawing right now. Um, Whatever. One of the earlier versions of the movie that they did that's famous. Um, they stopped it in the middle, and so I guess since then adaptations have kind of continued the tradition of like, let's stop at the high point where it looks like they're in love, which is a choice. And I feel like it's a choice to continue that tradition because again, I'm fairly certain the novel is basically about how traumatized children grow up into traumatized adults and then continue to traumatize the people in their lives without healing and reflection. Monsters beget monsters. Because I remember thinking like there were so many ways that these two kids, that Catherine and Heathcliff, could have like not gotten here, like not gotten to this point. Um and and a lot of it is just like didn't have good role models, didn't have like the safety to think about like what they actually wanted. Like they didn't have the space or the safety or the security to kind of like think about what it is that they want or they need and like why they're reacting the way that they do. Um so anyway, I'm kind of excited to see because I don't know, maybe I'll do like some type of like little, I can do a my essay, which is the version of the essays I would write for class before editing, that would just like all of the meanness in there, and then I would have to kind of edit the meanness out, which I think is honestly a shame that academia teaches you how to edit yourself down into something that's more palatable for the academic ivory field. And I'm like, man, I just feel like I can get my thoughts across a lot better with the full range of my vocabulary, which includes curse words and memes. Um, Sometimes even visual memes. Sometimes I feel like in my essay, sometimes I'll just like literally do like a reaction gif of like a here's my face journey, because that gives such a better idea of like the emotions that maybe like a book gave me than like trying to just describe the emotions, because it's like sometimes when you read a book, it's very good at using its words to make you feel things that are indescribable, which is you would think would be an oxymoron. Like, but it's not. Like, I think a lot of people who read have experienced that where you're like, I know I'm reading words, but at the same time, like what I'm feeling because of the words that I just read is literally indescribable. I don't have the words to describe how these other words made me feel. I just feel like that's very neat. How books can do that. But then again, I'm a reader. So, but yeah, maybe I'll do a little Eris essay, a Wuthering Heights deep dive, and so yeah, I remember really really liking the book, and like everyone else, I remember feeling like my friends and stuff who were complaining about the book, because again, it was literally high school reading. Like we were assigned this book, we did like a whole unit on it. um where my friends were like, "Ugh, it's just not a very good romance," and I'm like, yeah, because it's not a romance, it's a hate story. It's not a love story, it's a hate story. It's it's about trauma and how we hurt each other more than it is about how we love each other. Like their love is corrosive, it's not good for either of them. I mean, the man has Heathcliff has a scene in the book where whatever, he has a fight, they have a fight, and like outside or something, or he leaves the house. I just know that they have a fight, and then Heathcliff goes outside to a tree and like bashes his forehead against a tree, almost like comedic slapstick style, until he like passes out. And I'm like, that's in the book. Like, you have a fight so bad that you want to knock yourself unconscious. That's not good, bro. Like, bro, that's not healthy for either of you. But yeah. But then again, when you're 15, 16, that's I think it's good to be exposed to those types of relationships, and I think it's honestly very good that they make us read books like that. But man, I remember I don't think the teacher got that across very well in like the this is why we're reading it. We want you to see what a toxic relationship sort of looks like and the harm that it can bring to an entire community. Um because it flavors, all of your decisions, and that includes like business decisions and stuff like that. So but yeah, I don't think the teacher I did not have the greatest English teachers in high school, which is honestly super surprising considering I ended up getting a degree in like, well, technically creative writing, but words, lying. I have a degree in lying. Mostly because I did take the creative writing degree, which means that I had a very similar structure to the rest of the English degrees. But if I took like a regular English degree, I it would have been more ooh, I've been sitting cross-legged a little bit too long and now my knee is yelling at me. Hold on. Okay. Um I believe that the course load would have been more like kind of generalized. Like I could if I remember right, there was like some options in sort of specializing in different like periods of history or like types of literature. But I think it would have been like, I would have taken a credit writing class and then the poetry class and then also like a technical writing class and a journalism class and stuff like that. Kind of like a more broad view of like the different types of way that the English language works depending on your use of it. Like what's your goal for it? Like is it journalism, in which case like here's the facts and stuff like that. Like, you put your biggest hardest hitting things at the beginning and then you fill in whatever. Like I never took any journalism classes or whatever. Not in college. I because again, I specialize in creative writing, so uh I took all the classes on the how to manipulate people with your words. And man, those classes were great, honestly. I've talked about them before, but I'm like, yeah, pretty sure one of my TAs who taught like what my favorite workshop that I took, I'm pretty sure she's a genius. Figured out a way to get us out of the classroom so she could work on her dissertation. But I also learned the most in that class because she gave us such good, like, I'm not using, I want to say tactile. That's not the right word. She gave us such practical lessons. Or rather, she gave us such practical assignments where, like, so many of her assignments were literally like, I'm calling class out early because I want you to have the time to get started on this thing because I want you to go and do a very specific kind of. She would send us outside to like go people watch or to go to different locations specifically. Um, we did mostly people watching. Those are, or rather, I don't know. Those are the ones that I like the most. But she would also do it's like, I want everyone to describe like essentially like the same tree. Um, kind of thing. Like like her assignments are a lot like that. Uh so it is all like essentially field trips that she did not have to be on because we were college students and could handle ourselves. And we got us out of the classroom so she would have more time. I'm like, and I really only realized that until well after I graduated. I was like, oh my god, that was masterful. Talk about like using your words to manipulate people. She just manipulated us into giving her more time to work on her own dissertation. Gotta do what you gotta do. at when Wuthering Heights was published slash written. Because I think it was one of those books that potentially, or maybe it was confirmed in a letter or something, that Lord Byron inspired in part. So I know he was extremely popular, especially with the ladies, for a certain time period, for you know, for a while, but also just like very intensely for a while. He was the kind of the in a weird way. Yeah, he was like the literary Beatles, really. Like such an international phenomenon as well as how like intense people were about it, and still are in a way, because his death definitely inspired like more like almost like rabid fandomness. I feel like I gave her an underbite or overbite. Whatever. I feel like her lower jaw's a little bit too far out there. Ooh, what if I just fix it like this? Let's just fix it like this. For all of my like literature components, classes, like requirements that I needed for my degree. Because obviously they make you read, not just write. Um, so I had such a gigantic crush on this one professor. uh, and I know what her last name was. I didn't remember what her first name was. Ugh, memory. Anyway, um, I had such a gigantic crush on this woman, and she was one of like at the time like one of the I can't remember how they introduced her to all of her stuff. Like one of like the leading researchers. It's weird to say research in a literary kind of sense, but she was a Byron historian and studied a lot of his literature, but also studied a lot of his life. Um, and like she was like invited like to England. So, like she usually did a summer semester in England teaching a class at Oxford because she just spent her whole career, studying this one dude. Um, talk about basically hyperfixation, because you could tell every time she opened her mouth about it was like, this guy's my hyperfixation. um, but oh my god, yeah. I took all of her classes, so I ended up basically getting all of my literary components basically about Lord Byron and the romantics. Like she also taught the romantics because that was, Percy Shelley and Wadsworth and Keats and all that. They were all around the same time, and especially Shelley and Byron. They literally had slumber parties together. I mean, they were the reason that Frankenstein was written, because it was literally like Mary Shelley was Percy Shelley's wife, and husband kept hanging out with Byron so much she was like, I gotta write about this guy. Not giving Byron credit for Frankenstein. No, absolutely not. But in a way, like, because Byron was so fucked up, like, Frankenstein, like, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein in part because Lord Byron was a dick. And I'm glad that she used that kind of spite and all of those feelings about it, to produce such a fantastic work. Um, he doesn't deserve any of the credit of it because basically he was just a giant turd. But at the same time, like, Frankenstein would have been a different book had it not been for Byron being a gigantic turd. And I'm sorry that Mary Shelley had to live through all of that because it was probably pretty sucky. Also, her husband was so weird. There's a lot of things that I appreciate about Percy Shelley, but my God, kind of like, people in the 1830s were not okay. There was a lot of people, honestly, in any time frame that were not okay, but in this particular instance, a lot of people in the 1930s were not, or 1830s were not okay. I guess technically 1930s too. Woof. Are we ever okay? Swoopy. Eccles? Maybe. Ooh. Like is there. Girl, what do your gloves look like? Oh, you're not wearing gloves? Okay. Real though. Legend of Zelda farming game win. We've already destroyed Hyrule. Like, let us rebuild it. Cozy village city builder, kingdom builder Hyrule. She could play as Princess Zelda. She could be like working on infrastructure for her kingdom now that it's been de-Ganondorfed, you know. So now she's got to rebuild. Like I would play the crap out of that game. Stardew Valley, but make it Zelda. should save. Looks like I just saved it as Homework Zelda, but I mean Hyrule Warrior Zelda. Yeah, I know I only drew for like 45 minutes in that position, but oh my god, my shoulder is killing me. At least it's my left shoulder, not my right shoulder. If that was my right shoulder, I wouldn't be able to continue drawing, but my goodness. There is a reason I got this desk. I should use it. It's like literally a thumbnail, not the artistic thing that we call thumbnails. I guess this is Hyrule Warriors, and she does not wear gloves, so maybe she does not have such thick nails, especially because she fights with the rapier. I'll just keep it like that. Yeah, okay. Hmm. Just thought of something that I would like to do. Also, screw it. I'm giving her a second earring. She can have two as a treat. Which I guess I think I'm gonna draw right there too. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Persona 5 lately. I should maybe draw some Persona 5 fan art. Especially because I don't think I'll be playing the game anytime soon. I don't know, I might get it on Steam, but I lent my PS4 out to a friend. Um and they still have it. And so therefore I have no way to play Persona or any of my PS4 games right now. Which is honestly okay because I've been like super into Zelda and the Switch like recently, and also I have like all of my games on Steam, so all 104 of them. No, I have so many games on Steam. Ooh. Yeah, you can tell where my vice is for sure. Definitely video games. It's where I have the worst impulse control for sure. Especially Steam. Oh god, because it's just so easy to get stuff on Steam. Okay, girl, what does your hair look like? How do you? What is happening? It's to open image in new tab and see. Oh my god, that's so small. Why is it so small? Why? Oh my god. Okay. Actually, that's. Ooh, this is just the full on concept art. Okay, awesome. Oh, this is so much better. Okay. Okay, so her hair is so. And then it's. And then it's in a ring. Okay. Man, her hair is so cool. I really like that. I don't think, unless I straighten the hell out of my hair, I don't not think my hair is gonna do that. It's too fluffy. Let's see. If my hair was here, and then I was wearing my earrings. Behind my hair? In front of? Actually, maybe in front of my hair. Mhm. To admit, I'm getting the urge to like that weird ADHD hyperfixation urge to learn how to do jewelry crafting so I can like make her little hair ornament thing. because oh my god, it's honestly kind of amazing. Mm. Uh, just realized that's on the line layer. Oh well. Okay. I'll fix that later. in front of my window. And they have to do lawn care even though it's February because it's been so unseasonably warm that all the plants are waking up even though it's February. See, come. How is that still the eraser? Come on, there we go. I don't think the hair direction is going right, but I'll leave it for now. Let me get the rest of the hair in here. I think that'll help. Let's work on here. Picking up that I want the pen, not the eraser. Excuse me. But those are not sleeves. Well, they are sleeves, but they're like little fluttery things. I actually don't think she has any straps there. Interesting. Okay, well then this is going. Oops. You just listen to the song. This is probably the instrumental version. Who am I? Oh, she does have like a little dangly. I think what I like about Hyrule Warrior Zelda is that she's very ornamented. She does look like a princess. Like she's especially a princess of a country of such wealth that is Hyrule. Like she would wear more decoration. Maybe not necessarily on the battlefield, but you know. She's got lots of jewels and stuff. I like that. Well, folks, I think I'm running out of steam. Yeah, we did a lot. I drew most of a Zelda. I also didn't take a break, so maybe part of it's that. But I'm definitely gonna continue working on this. I think I like this picture. It's turning out very, very nice. I really like the hand that I did, and honestly, both of my hands are doing pretty good. Um, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head out for now. It's just a little bit before noon. So we made it to. We made it almost 3 hours. So let me save that. I've got some other work I gotta get done. Not to mention my shoulders kind of hurting. I might need a pain pill of my own. Oh, but yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. This kind of a quiet day. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you Thursday. I'll be back at 9 a.m. and we'll go till noon. And maybe, I don't know, we may be working on this again, or we may actually get some work on the comic. Who knows? Um, but yeah, I will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye!